I had to grind. I'll say I had to grind my way and make it happen because I have no degree. I went to college, but I did not finish. Man, let me tell you how good God is. I placed the order for my business cards last night, a little after 12 a.m. I called this morning, but it was like, hey, they're gonna be ready at 7. I said, nah, I got to have these, man. I didn't tell him that, but I'm like, I understood. I'm like, okay, I appreciate it. So I'm leaving the house, going to a job fair, because this networking thing don't stop. Network savage. It don't stop. And just let me tell you how good God is, man. I said, Lord, I need these cards. Like, that's the final, that's the finishing touch. I have my portfolio. I have my resume. I need them cards with the QR code with my face on it. That helps with my communication. That helps with punctuality. That helps with being on point. That's that last touch. That's that je ne sais quoi. You know. So I said, let me call them one more time before I get up out of here. I called. He said, you know what? Your cards are being printed right now, and we're about to finish them up in the next couple minutes. I said, I'm on my way. You can't tell me God ain't. You can't tell me God ain't good. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I just had to go into a praise. You dig what I'm saying? Network savage. You can't tell me that the God I serve is false, don't exist, don't hear you, don't have something waiting on you. Come on, somebody. Talk to me, because everything gonna be all right. You dig? All right, y'all. I've got to my destination, but let me learn you something real quick. When you come to job fairs, I'll have more once I get in and when I come out. I'll have more. But one thing I would say, appearance, nice slacks, chinos, plaid pants, suit pants, button-up shirt, nice knit shirt, something that makes sense, right? It's lit out here, by the way. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people out here trying to get a role, right? So, preparedness. I would say if you have iPhone or Android, get you one of these, a attachment to attach your USB or your flash drive, because you can email someone that in the instance if you want that, or load up your phone with your resume in a folder or some kind of online Dropbox where you could send it off. I have it all. I have it in my email. I have it saved to my files in my actual iPhone. Have your folio with your resumes. Because of my uniqueness, my access to different roles in my work history, my career, I have multiple resumes, right? I have project management, I have MES for engineering, I have process engineering, and I have leadership. Director of operations, manufacturing, supervisor manufacturing, management. I have all of that. So I have 4 resumes on me. So if you have that, you should be set. Have your elevator pitch, because this is technically an interview, but this is also insight to what the job is and the roles, and you can ask questions here. Um, One of the biggest things I would say is understand what your strengths and your weaknesses are. In case someone asks you on the spot, because if you get an interview on the spot, then what? Like, you want to make sure that you're prepared, that you are sharp on your things. This is a life science job fair. My whole website, Network Savage, is based off of someone transitioning into tech or someone going into manufacturing. So, because I actually transitioned out of manufacturing and learned a couple things and went into tech sales. However, I'm trying to get back into pharma, but at a level of either change management, organizational change management, process engineering, or project manager, or some type of implementation specialist, or MES, which is manufacturing execution system engineer or specialist. Because I do have a background as an SME for MES software, and I also have sold MES software. So, understanding networking and communication. Have a business card with you if you have one. I have mine here. I also have a QR code on the back. That way, somebody could scan it and be transferred to my LinkedIn instantaneously. I also have my website at the bottom here. My name, my number, a couple quotes. I have communication is the key to success, and I also have a pretty much like a job title, but not a job title. I just put driving digital evolution through change management expertise. That says that I have leadership. It says that I have experience within change management and digital transformation. So that is big in life science. That is big in any company that's going through a transition to implement a new process flow. So those are some of the things, and I know I sound like I'm rambling right now, but this is just a little bit of game for you. Feel me? But like the game for me is communication, networking. This is what I do. So I would love to be able to share footage in there, but I'm working. I'm out here getting to it. So I'll be back with some more information, and then I'll share that. So I am walking in the place. Um, that parking lot back there is full. You hear me? I'm talking about slam packed. Everyone out here is trying to get a job. Everyone out here is grinding. Everyone out here is trying to make some things happen. So I'm prepared. Got what I need. Got a nice timepiece on. So it was interesting. Um, so went inside the job fair, career fair. One company had the longest line ever. Mind you, said company, I worked there for 10 years, right? I have resources there. I wanted to kind of get my information in someone's hand, but the line was grueling. Everyone was able to sit and speak with some of the other people, other companies rather. And one thing about these companies, sometimes the people who are interfacing with candidates, they're not able to actually really talk to the process of what that company does, right? Um, that was a turn off for me for a few companies, so I'm not going to enter in. And if there's no enthusiasm when someone is explaining their company or any kind of excitement, of course, people go through things day to day, whatever. But there was no explaining what it is that they did or the type of position. And one guy was in finance, but he wasn't a recruiter. He was just filling in for someone's spot. So for me, I'm like, I'm going to actually talk to the recruiter of the staffing agency. Talked to her, got some good feedback, gave my card, resume, got her email, LinkedIn request. Boom. Resume, business card with my LinkedIn address on it, and my information. Resume, her her LinkedIn information, and the email. So that's 5 points of contact. That's almost like sales. So in sales, you want to have at least in your sequence, you're going to have 15, like say 15 days. But you're going to have X amount of contacts within those 15 days. LinkedIn message, an email, a call, X Y X Y X Y X Y. So I gave 5 points of contact to most of the recruiters that I had spoke with. So I say this to tell you, whenever you go to a job fair, make sure you have on the right amount of resumes on you. Make sure you have the right um, information on your resume, first and foremost. Make sure that you have all of your information on point. You hear me? Make sure you have a lot of your resources at the ready, because they say, hey, send me an email. Boom. Hey, I'll send it to you right now. And that's what I did. That can be a difference maker, being boom, 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 on point with it. Outside of that, some of the companies I had already applied to, I just wanted to speak with someone that was there. And when I actually tell you this, some of the companies, I'm kind of glad I had the experience I had with them. Cause I'm like, I'm good. Um, and some of the people I spoke with in line, shared information. I'm able to reach out to them on LinkedIn and gave them my card, my information, swapped information. So it's really like a networking. Um, the vibe of it was everyone's here trying to get work or trying to get out of the situation. One person I talked to, she's here on a visa, but she has a PhD and she's worked at one of the major places in North Carolina, Duke. And she's trying to actually get a role. So that is so dope to me. Someone from a different continent working here on a visa and also have their PhD. They should be able to boom, 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 get hired. But sadly enough, people have experience and the education and still are out here grinding, trying to get a role. Like the job market is, you know, it is what it is. So you got to get in how you fit in. But outside of that, um, what I learned today is have no expectations at job fair. Just put your best foot forward, do your pitch, give your information, and move to the next line. And like I said, the queue of line or the lines that were queued up had like maybe 20 people, 15 people, 5 people, 6 people, you know. But one line in particular was wrapped. I sat in the line for about a good amount of time. I just couldn't do it anymore, personally. Like I said, I used to work there. So I can just reach out to some people and try to make something happen. I kind of feel like I missed somewhat of an opportunity, but that opportunity, I have different, means to actually get in there. So, I take it for what it is, and it's getting close to the time that they're going to shut this thing down. And I've been here for over 3 hours, and there's less than 10 companies. So, sitting in line, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to reach out to people. I'm ready to get back to the grind. All right, that's what it is. So I'm back in the house, and what I learned today is be prepared. Make sure that you research some of the companies that's going to be there first. That way, you can already apply to some of the roles that you want. And when you see a recruiter there or whoever is their representation, you could hand them your resume. You dig? That is key. You hear me? So, having that said, make sure you have on proper dress, uh, polo, button up, chinos, slacks, suit pants, however, some nice shoes. It ain't got to be like gators or nothing. I mean, just something nice, something decent. Make sure you have simple jewelry, wedding band if you have it. I got my little little ring here, but that's I kept it simple though. I have my watch, something business casual, my glasses, and right now I just feel like I was dressed appropriately. You know, fresh cut, fresh shave, all that, and I was presentable. I had, like I said, I had 4 resumes with me, and I also had um, multiple copies of each resume. Um, if you think about it, having a resume that can go towards a couple different jobs, that's cool too. But if you can have specific resumes for different roles. Now, if it's a company that you didn't really look at their website, you're not really sure what they have, and you're waiting to speak to someone who's representing them to understand what roles they have and where you fit in. Having like a jack of all trades resume, that works too. Um, just kind of research the company if you can. Like whenever you are registered for like a job fair, career fair, look at the company that's going to be there. Like I said, try to apply prior to there. That way you have touch points. You'll have someone that you can put your resume in, and it's already in the system. And somebody can put a name and a face to paper, to your documentation. So, I did multiple points of contact, almost kind of like how I did as BDR in sales. So my touch points were my business card, which had my LinkedIn and all my contact information. I got their business card, and I added them on LinkedIn, and I had them add me on LinkedIn too. Like, hey, here's my card. Here's my. If you can go ahead and scan it, I can go ahead and add you right now. That is a call to action instantaneously. Had my resume there, and I also emailed my resume to them while they were there. Hey, I have my resume on file. Um, well, I actually have my resume physically here, and I also will email you a copy in case you lose this copy. So my points of contact, I made sure I cover every base, and then I'm reaching out to them on LinkedIn to thank them for the time that we were in conversation, that we conversed. Outside of that, that is, one of the biggest things that I would say that I learned today is making sure I had those points of contact. And it's my dog. Sir, I'm filming. Yeah, yeah. Those points of contact are very important. But now, I can kind of relax and chill. It's back to the grind in the morning. I also got some contacts with some of the people there. One lady shared with me their other job fairs that deal with farmers. So I was like, yo, let me get that information so we can make that happen. So I was able to share my contact information with her. She was able to give me the name of the organization that throws the other job career fair. So I am tapped in with that. You did. So at the end of the day, it was a good experience. Those are kind of like the pros, but here's some areas of improvement. I feel like there were an influx of people, and there was, I would say, how many companies was there? There were maybe 10 companies, if that, maybe 10 or less than 10. So imagine having over 100 people waiting to talk to these companies. Some of the people that were there were staffing um, companies, and some of the companies were actual pharma or CDMOs or CRO companies. So imagine 50 people to a line or 10 people to a line. And as I said before earlier, there was one company in particular that constantly had a line up until it was time to go, and it got to the point where I'm like, I'll reach out to some of my sources that work there, and I'll take that route, because at the end of the day, like, traffic, the time was getting crazy, and I just felt like I was starting to get annoyed personally. For something separate from waiting in line, um, people are going to people, and at the end of the day, I'm not going to um, allow someone to uh, take me off my square. Let's just say that. Don't let nobody knock you off your square. Don't do it. It's better to walk away, and it's better to uh, take another route. That way, you keep your composure, you stay professional, and this is a career fair, a job fair. You don't want to act a fool out there. You don't want to be outside yourself and have people looking at you like, yeah, I'm good. So just be mindful of that. Um, make sure you have your resumes. Make sure you have, business casual on. Make sure you have your elevator pitch. Make sure you know your strengths and your weaknesses in case somebody puts you on the spot. make sure you have business cards if you can. You can get same day cards from like Staples, but I would advise you to do it 48 hours in advance. If you can, please do. Uh, Make sure LinkedIn has activity on it, like at least within a week. Like you don't want to have a dry LinkedIn when you're reaching out to people at career fairs. That's the whole point of networking and communication, making sure that you can communicate what you've done, how you're doing, and the impact that you've made while staying active in what you're trying to do or where you're trying to go. So, I mean, that's pretty much all I have for my dog is pressing me right now. Hey, buddy. Hey, the buddy. I know, I understand, but okay, I understand. Sorry. But stay vigilant, stay on them LinkedIn streets. Grit game. That's what I'm rocking with. I've been saying grit game for like over a year, actually, quite a bit. But it's grit game. It is network savage, network savage, and grit game. Everything starts with a plan. ESP. So I have ESP. Everything starts with a plan. Grit game because over the past year and a half, I had grind. I had to grind. I'll say I had to grind my way and make it happen because I have no degree. I went to college, but I did not finish in pursuit of the military, and the military didn't work out for me. So that's why I never finished my degree, which my degree was in network administration or network infrastructure. My dream job at the time was either working at SAS, which is in RTP, or working at Cisco. I didn't see myself working in a server room hooking up servers. Now I wish I was. So I digress. 10 years in pharma, a little bit of time in tech sales, spent time selling cars, spent time selling suits, tailoring people up so tailor fit. Also spent, this time hustling, man, and grinding. So if you feel like you can't do it, you can. I did it. You can do it. And you probably can do a way better job than I did. Um, so make sure that you're documenting your process. I've documented so many things over the years and I haven't showed it. And I'm going to start putting those videos out. So if it looks old, chances are it's very old. But, at the end of the day, like, what I'm saying, keep rocking with me. I rock with y'all and I just want to like share my journey with people and really let people know that like, hey, you can get in manufacturing, you can get into tech without having a degree. I have certifications, right? I got a Scrum Master certification and a project management certification. I have Google Coursera, which is not a PMP, but it's still acceptable. You still learn the skill sets. You still learn the methodologies of waterfall. I do have lean training. I don't have the certification in it, but because in pharma, you learn these methodologies sometimes, and you might not get qualified in unless you go outside the organization and get that. But yeah, like my whole job, my whole goal is to make sure that I can help you guys either transition into manufacturing or transition out of manufacturing and giving you the language and the skill set to be able to explain your experience and your skills. A lot of people don't have that whenever they try to pivot out or try to do a career change. So my whole goal is to share what I know, give you some game, and make sure that you get to land somewhere, at least get you on the right path. I can't guarantee you a job. I can just guarantee you the ability to network and communicate what you've done. That's what I got. Yes, sir.